Well, good morning, Alex. I think it's just you and me, friend.
Hello, Jerry. Good morning.
Good morning, Alex. Well, friends, today's lesson begins by checking the result of the exams, even when I know that you have the result of your particular exams. But I think it's important to know, in case I have a mistake, what the correct answer was, so you can rectify that mistake and you have an exam that you can use in the future when you are studying for the real exams that you will have one of these days. So having the correct answers in these exams of ours, it's very, very important for you in the future. Let's check the exams. Let's begin by checking the listening part. So Alex, let's go to the listening exam, right? Give me a second. Okay, listening exam. Oh, I'm sorry. Something like this. Well, listening part of the exam. Part one, you will hear people talking in 8 different situations. For questions 1 to 8, choose the best answer, A, B, or C. Well, according to Cambridge, in number 1 is letter C, a piece of luggage. In number 2, letter B, it teaches you how to play. In number 3 is letter A, food safety. In number 4, letter B, how they feel about this type of pollution. Now, in number 5 is letter B, a mistake was made on the order form. In number 6 is letter A, they are better than usual. In number 7 is letter C, he is interesting. And in number 8, letter B, a tourist. Observe, Alex, that there are 8 questions. Every correct answer has a value of 1 mark. So you needed 5 correct answers here to pass listening part 1. Now let's go to the second part of listening. Swimming instructor, from 9 to 18. So they are 10 questions. Every answer 1 mark. So in total they are 10. You needed 6 to pass listening part 2. 6. And what are the answers? In number 9, south of France. In number 10, 1970. In number 11, famous people. In number 12, children. Maybe young children, yes, but children is the important word. In number 13, 50%. 50%. Some students wrote about 50%. Excellent. But 50% is the acceptable answer. In number 14, underwater. Underwater. In number 15, breathe out or breathe. The spelling was the problem in the exam. Breathe is B-R-E-A-T-H-E. I repeat, B-R-E-A-T-H-E. Breathe. In 16, float. Float. In 17, confident. In 18, 3 hours or 3 lessons. 2 possibilities in 18, 3 hours or 3 lessons. These are the answers. It is important to have the right answers in the papers for future studies. I repeat, they are 10, you need 6 to pass. Let's go to part number 3. It is about a radio program called Morning Market. And now let's go to speaker 1. Speaker 1 is letter C. Speaker 2 is letter B. Speaker 3 is letter D. Speaker 4 is letter F. And speaker 5 is letter E. I repeat. C, B, D, F, E. They are 5. You needed 3 correct answers to pass. 3 over 5. Let's go to the final part of listening. Yes, Jerry, I'm not listening to you. Wait a second, why? Give me a chance. Let me see what is happening. And you, Alex, can you hear me? Yes, so I know the problem is in your computer, you know? But anyway, I know what do you need? Part 3 answers. Yes, part 3. Give me a second. Yes, I know. Listen. Speaker number 1 is letter C. Speaker number 2 is letter B. Speaker number 3 is letter D. Speaker 4, F. Speaker 5, E. And now let's go to part 4. Well, it was about an interview. You're welcome. I know, my pleasure, friend. Now let's go to the interview with a man, remember, who was making models for films and models for television. That was the topic in part number 4. In number 24, the answer is letter C, to work in television. In 25, according to Cambridge, is letter A, the fascination with space travel. In 26 is letter B, some equipment had been destroyed. In 27, letter C, he was available at the right time. In 28 is letter A, part of a team. In 29, it is letter C, help children make models themselves. And finally, in 30, letter B, his work was recognized. I repeat, 24, letter C, 25, letter A, 26, letter B, 27, letter C, 28, letter A, 29, letter C, and 30, letter B. Observe that there are 7. You needed 4 correct answers to pass. 4 over 7 to pass. And now, if you observe the exam, you have the total marks in the aspect of listening. The maximum are 30. You needed 18 to pass. If you have 18 or more, you passed the listening part. And this is important, right? Because if you know your problem is in listening, you have to dedicate more time on listening, right? Or maybe your problem is in use of English, so you know that listening is not the problem, but use of English, and vice versa. I repeat, you needed 18 marks to pass the listening part. And now let's go to use of English part. Let's see this, use of English. Part number 1, everyone's an artist. Let's go there. Well, number 1 is letter C. Number 1 is letter C, gather. Number 2 is letter B, enjoy. Number 3 is letter C, length. Number 4 is letter B, once. Number 5 is letter D, in exchange for. Number 6 is letter B, section. Number 7 is letter A, though. Number 8 is letter B, invited. Number 9 is letter A, set. Number 10 is letter A, become. Number 11 is letter D, which. Number 12 is letter C, admire. I repeat, friends. Number 1 is letter C. Number 2 is letter B. Number 3 is letter C. 4 is B. 5 is D. 6 is B. 7 is A. 8 is B. 9 is A. 10 is A. 11 is D. And number 12 is letter C. They are 12 answers. You needed a minimum of 7 to pass, because 7 is the 60% of 12. I repeat, you need 7 or more marks here to pass Use of English Part 1. And now let's go to Use of English Part 2. It is problems for actors. It begins in number 13 and finishes in number 24. Well, in number 13, the word is because. In number 14, the word is more. In number 15, of. 16, to, T-O-O, to. In number 17, 2 possibilities, the verb be or the verb sound. Be or sound. In 18, 3 possibilities, you know, when or while or as. When or while or as. 3 options. In number 19, which. In number 20, what. In number 21, again. In number 22, if. In 23, first. In 24, by. I repeat, friends, 13 because, 14 more, 15 of, 16 to, 17 2 options, be or sound. In 18 3 options, when, while, as. In 19 which. In 20 what. In 21 again. In 22 2 possibilities, if or the synonyms of if that we study, you know, whether, provided. In 23 first. In 24 by. They are 12. There are 12 answers again. With 7 correct answers, you are passing. Let's go to part number 3, which is different. They are 10. This is word formation. We practice this a lot in classes. They are 10. You needed 6 to pass. The words are in 25. The derivative of frequent is frequently. 25, frequently. 26 from impress, impressive, impressive. In 27, comfortable, comfortable. In 28, flight, F-L-I-G-H-T, flight. In 29, connections, connections. In 30, increasingly is an adverb, increasingly. In 31, improvement, in singular or in plural, acceptable. In this case, it can be improvement or improvements. In 32, noisy, noisy. In 33, it can be two things. It can be crowded or maybe overcrowded, both acceptable, crowded or overcrowded. In 34, unfortunately, unfortunately. They are 10. You needed 6 to pass. Let's go to the final part of the exam. Use of English part 4. Remember the value of every answer are 2 marks, no 1, but 2. That's why even when there are 8 questions, the marks are 16, because every answer 2 marks. So they are 16. You needed 10 correct answers, 10. You needed 10 to pass. And remember that there is a peculiar way in which Cambridge evaluates this part. They divide your answer into 2 small segments, and they provide 1 mark to every segment. So I'm going to give you the answers in segments for you to evaluate your work in case that I made any mistake. In 35, for example, the answer is, you have to use like. So the answer is John, and now your answer, would like 1 mark to know the other mark. They divide the answer, would like 1 mark to know the second mark. So the complete answer would be John would like to know more about astronomy. See? Very good. Now let's go to 36. Because of the parade, we weren't allowed to park in High Street, and you have to use let. Because of the parade, the police wouldn't, and now your answer, let us 1 mark park, second mark. Let us 1 mark park, the second mark. Excuse me. So the whole answer is, because of the parade, the police wouldn't let us park in the High Street. 37. Susan wanted to know, and now your answer, if 1 mark, I had seen the second mark. Past perfect. If I had seen. 1 mark for the condition if, the second mark for the past perfect, I had seen. So the complete answer in 37 would be, Susan wanted to know if I had seen that film on television on Saturday. 38. I'm afraid these gyms have a hole in them, Tanya told the shop assistant. You have to use there. I'm afraid that, and now your answer, there is 1 mark, a hole in the second mark. There is a hole in. The complete answer is, I'm afraid that there is a hole in these gyms, Tanya told the shop assistant. Let's go to 39 now. Attention, you have to use attention. Dan never, and now your answer, pay 1 mark, no, sorry, pays, because it's done, is he. So pays attention, 1 mark to the second mark. I repeat, Dan never pays attention to my advice. Cambridge gives you 1 mark for pays attention and the second mark for the preposition to. Some students says pays any attention, any, okay. Much, pays much attention, okay, acceptable. But if you write pays attention, that's enough. Let's go to 40. Frank asks Sarah, and now your answer, if she, 1 mark, would lend him the second mark. I repeat, Frank asked Sarah if she would lend him her bicycle. But Cambridge specifies that there is another possibility. You can say, Frank asked Sarah to lend him, and this is acceptable too. Frank asked Sarah to lend him her bicycle. Good, good. Now 41, Peter, and now your answer in 41, might have, 1 mark, forgotten the second mark. Might have forgotten. The division is in might have, 1 mark, forgotten, the other mark. The complete answer is Peter might have forgotten that we changed the time of the meeting. Now the final part of the exam, 42, every, and now your answer, child, every is cada uno, so it's singular, right? The singular of children is child. Child, singular, children, plural. So every child, and now child is singular. Third person singular, he or she, child. So you have to use the verb with S, has. So child is 1 mark, has fun, the second mark. The complete answer is every child has fun at this summer camp. Some student copy, every single child, excellent, that's why not? Other students write, has great fun, okay, why not? That's okay, acceptable. But the important thing is, child, 1 mark, has fun. The answer, every child has fun at this summer camp. There are 16 marks. You needed 10 marks to pass it. And now, the total of use of English, only use of English, not listening, the total of use of English is 50 marks, 50, and the 60% are 30. You needed 30 marks to pass the use of English part. And now the total of the exam, I am watching here, are 80. 30 in listening and 50 in use of English, they are 80, and the 60% to pass are 48. So if you have 48, you are passing the exam. If you didn't get that amount of marks, don't worry, maybe next time. The important, because this is not a real exam, and you know, mock is a mock. It's a simulation, it's a mock. What we are doing here is preparing you, friends, for the real exam that you will take one of these days. We don't know when, one of these days, right? But this is the preparation. So I don't want you to feel bad or anything in case you didn't pass, but I do need you to take it seriously. And if you didn't pass, next exam, you have to make an effort, because next exam is the last one, right? Now we are going to begin unit number 13. And after 13, we have 14, and that's the end of the story. After unit number 14, and in the end of this course, we take mock test number 4, and that's the way to finish our course of English, prepare you for the first certificate in English from Cambridge University. Well, and now what? Now we are going again to begin working. Doing what? Going to unit number 13, page number 140 in your books. So I want to look for that page in the student's book, page number 140. This is it. As soon as you see this page, if you are watching the page, as soon as you see this page, you know the topic of unit number 13. This unit is going to pay a lot of attention on dwellings, that is places where humans can live, houses, flat, all these things. Uh, and we are going to study a lot of vocabulary about these topics, how English people say, for example, adosados, chalets, I don't know the name of un chalet solo, no sé cómo se llama en España, but that's it. How we say that in English, all the vocabulary about houses, which is going to be very important for you because one of the possible topics in your examinations, either speaking or written exams, is that you write or speak about housing. Imagine the importance of this. Well, like the rest of the units, every single unit in this book is dedicated to one of the big groups, big topics that Cambridge uses in its examinations. So all the units are important. House space, and they give you pictures, they give you exactly 6 pictures dealing with house or houses. Starting off, exercise number 1, work in pairs. Impossible, I know, but the book, the book is a book, inanimate. So the book doesn't understand the problem we are facing here in Spain and in the rest of the world with this problem of coronavirus. Well, starting off, work in pairs, impossible. Match each of these types of place to live with photos. That's very easy. And they give you names, possible names, a villa, a chalet in the mountains, a block of flats with several stories. Well, several stories, interesting, friends, because stories is the English version of floors. But in England, they say stories. A house in a village, a house estate, and a mobile home. So you have to match. For example, you have to tell me a villa. Well, this is number 3. Observe number 3, the picture. This is a villa. So you can write a villa, number 3. When you finish this work, of course, you are going to use the dictionaries and translators. That's the intention, right? When you finish, send me a message for me to continue the class. I know. Finished. Alex finished. Very good. Well, let's check it. Well, you know, letter A villa is number 3. And a chalet in the mountains, number? What number? For Alex is number 2, and for Ainhoa is number 2 too. Very good. That is the concept of a chalet in the mountains, number 2. Now, by the way, beautiful, yes or no? I would like to have a cabin like that. Let us see a block of flats with several stories or several flats, you know. Well, what number? What number do you think it is? For I know it's number 1 and Alex is number 1. Yes, yes, very good. A house in a village. What number? 4 for Alex and 4 for Ainhoa. Yes, yes. A housing state. Number 6 for Alex and 6 for Ainhoa. Ainhoa and Alex, this is the word that we have to study, right? Because it's not similar to Spanish. Housing, ing, housing estate, estate with E. It's not the United States. No, no, no. It's estate, which in Spanish is una urbanización, right? So you have to study this by memory. Now, letter F, a mobile home, is number 5 for Alex and for Ainhoa. Very good, very good. Well, friends, you see, now you have here 6 words, vocabulary that you can use in English, and they are things that you use a lot in Spanish, and now you have the English version. Very good. Well, now what? Exercise number 2. Which of these things do you think are important when choosing somewhere to live? For example, when you are choosing, imagine, Alex, imagine, I know that you are going to get married. Imagine that. And imagine that you are buying a house, right? Because your parents-in-law are going to pay for that. It's the present from your parents-in-law. So take advantage, aprovechense, take advantage. If you have that possibility, you are getting married with a person you love, and your parents-in-law, not your parents, your parents-in-law are going to pay for your house. Which of these possibilities, A, B, C, D, E, F, would you select? Ainhoa, which one is your favorite? Yes, we haven't enough money for wedding. Yes, I know. But well, this is imagination, I know. Pure imagination. Imagine that possibility, and then your parents-in-law, I mean your mother-in-law and your father-in-law, say, hey, choose the house you want, that we will pay for it. What is your option? A, B, C, D, E, or F?
Hi.
Hi.
Well, I think I would love living in a chalet in the mountains
Yes.
or a house in a village. But I think the reality it would be a good idea choosing a block of flats with several stories.
Yes, I know.
For starting at least.
Yes, yes, I know. But we are dreaming. We are dreaming, right? So,
Yes.
but number 2 is good for you. Number 2 is a chalet in the mountains. Yes. A
Yes.
question: is it because you like the trees and the nature and animals? Do you like that?
Yes, and I used to spend holidays in the north of Spain, like Galicia or Asturias, and I really love that kind of environment. And
Yes,
yes,
yes. The north is beautiful. The
yeah,
north is
I
beautiful.
think so.
Very good. Thank you very much, I know. And you,
Yeah.
Alex? you, my friend, imagine that possibility. I know that is fiction, I know. But imagine that. Imagine you have that option. Someone is going to pay for the house. Which one would you select?
I probably choose a chalet in the mountains or a mobile home.
Ah, yes, a mobile home. And why a mobile home, friend?
Because you can go whenever you want and live in a different environments.
Ah, okay. But don't think this is something similar to what you call in Spanish caravana. It's not a caravana, right? It is a mobile home because you can move it, but you need a lot of money to move it, right? But it's not a recreational vehicle. I mean, it's not a what you say in Spanish caravana. It's not a caravana, but anyway, you can move it. You can move it if you want. So you can move it next to your mother's house at dinner time, and then the rest of the day you move the house far away from your mother and father, and then at night again you move it next to your mother so you can eat your mommy's dinner. Is that a good idea, Alex, or not?
Absolutely.
Good, very good. Well, friends, that is, and friends, imagine again that you are choosing a place because you won the lottery. So now you don't have to get married now, right? Don't worry, I know you don't have to get married. But imagine that you win the lottery and you have a lot of money and you think, yes, I know, because you are worried about that. I know sooner or later you will have to get married. Yes, it's something nobody can avoid it. Well, yes, I know, that's it. And what about love? I know. Sometimes you fall in love. Well, but no, not now. Now, forget about getting married and all that. But you win the lottery. You give money to your family, principally to your parents and siblings, if any. And then you think, well, the rest of the money is mine, and now I'm going to buy a house. The question is, I am referring to question number 2, page 140. Observe, which of these things do you think are important when choosing somewhere to live? Algún lugar donde vivir, somewhere to live. Why is this important or why not? For example, a quiet neighborhood. Or some people prefer a quiet neighborhood. Some other people love a noisy neighborhood next to clubs, next to discos, next to restaurants, cafes, etc. What's your opinion, Ainhoa and Alex? A quiet neighborhood is important for you, or do you prefer a noisy, restless place?
Hi again.
This is Ainhoa.
Yes, for
Ainhoa,
me,
Ainhoa, let me ask a question. Alba, are you in class?
sorry.
No. Okay, Ainhoa, but I want to know about Alba because I haven't heard her voice for a long period of time. Alba, are you with us? ¿Estás con nosotros? Okay. Well, I'm going to continue with Ainhoa. Thank you, Alba. Ainhoa, can you continue, please?
Yes. Well, for me, I think I prefer a quiet neighborhood because I don't know, city life or laboral time is really fast and really noisy, and I prefer for living some quiet place.
Yes.
But I think it's important that this place also have a good I don't know how to say, a good public transport or a good way to communicate with other places too.
Yes. The name is public. The name is public transport system, something like that in English.
Okay. Public transport system.
Yes,
Okay.
things that you can have buses and trains and metros. Is that the idea?
Yes.
Good. I agree with you. But I have to ask because Alex is different. Alex prefer to live in the city center, in the middle of the scandal. Yes or no, Alfred? My God, Alex.
I prefer the city, but also not so noisy. I prefer the city because it's in the center and you can go all the places because it's communicated. But listening to all the noise every day can be stressful.
Yes, and the pollution also.
Yeah,
The pollution.
also.
But it is true because in life, friends, Alba, Noah, Alex, the reality is that nothing is completely perfect. Nothing, friends. Not even your boyfriend and girlfriend. No, nothing is perfect. You have to accept it that way because you know why? We are not perfect either. We are not. So when you live in a place so beautiful as I know as ideal place, which is number 2, the chalet in the mountains, which is beautiful, but sometimes I think at night, not the first night, but after 2 years living there, at night maybe you are very alone and you miss, maybe you miss your friends and reunions and laughing and drinking with friends in a nightclub or something like that, maybe. On the other hand, if you live in the city center like Alex, there is contamination and a lot of noise and noisy neighbors and people drinking and shouting in the bar downstairs, So nothing is perfect. But if you like, for example, I know that living in that chalet could be troublesome because at night maybe or the weekends you need something different and you will be maybe a little bit bored. But I prefer that. I am very similar to Ainhoa because I am a quiet man and I love nature. I love the green color of Asturias and Galicia and El País Vasco, the Basque Country, etc. That's beautiful. Well, friends, and what about you, Alba? If you have to choose, for example, a good view, imagine that you are buying, Alba, you are buying a flat, right? Is a good view important for you or that's not important? It depends on the place, but a good view is a good view. I mean, the concept of a good view is not a view to the kitchen of the neighbors. No, that's not a concept of a good view. A good view is when you have, yes, imagine, Alba, that the only thing that you can see when you open your window is the neighbor, the man who lives next door, taking a shower and singing. Can you imagine that? How disgusting. So a good view is when you can see something you like, a landscape or something like that. Yes, Alba, like me, like the rest of the people. Is it a garden important for you, Alex, to have a garden in your house or not much?
Not that much. I prefer a good view or have a public park or garden nearby my house than a garden for myself.
Yes, okay. I love gardens, But the funny thing, friends, is that maybe if I lived in a house with a beautiful garden, maybe I wouldn't have time enough to look after the gardens and flowers and things like that. That's a reality. But I love flowers and bunches and all that, trees, and I love that. The other question is shops within walking distance. Do you understand the concept? That you live in a place where the shops are near your house, that you can go to the shops by walking on foot. No, you don't need to take a car or a bus. Is that important for you, friends? I know, is it important for you, for example?
Yes, I think for me is a important question because I prefer going place by foot and no by car or using public transport. But not only shops, also I don't know, library or cultural place or something like that.
Yes, yes, very good, very good. Shops within walking distance. Is that important for you, Alba? That you live near shops or not important for you? Yes, it is important. In my opinion, it is important. Dangerous, very dangerous, but important. Dangerous because it is a temptation, temptation. But the reality is that, well, if you cannot have shops near your house, at least minimum a Chinese shop. Because Chinese people sell everything. Not high quality, but they solve problems sometimes. Do you agree with that, Alex?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Minimum a Chinese shop. Near my house, I have about 35 Chinese shops. Well, friends, and now what? Houses. This is the important thing now. So I'm going to show you some videos which are going to help you with the vocabulary of houses. So please take a piece of paper, take a pen, and write down notes on the vocabulary that you see, because it is going to be important for you in the future, not only for exams, in order to express your ideas in English. So prepare conditions, papers and pens or pencils. Well, you see, they are speaking about different parts of apartment, she says. When the girl says apartment, immediately you think, is this English, sorry, is this British English or American English? What's your opinion? This is American English because in England, they never say apartment. They say flat. So important vocabulary. In America, we say apartment, similar to Spanish apartment, but in England, they have a different name. In England, the name is flat. Flat. In America, we say elevator. Elevator. But here in England, they say lift. Lift. So you see, the same language, different words. Observe the second video that I found on the internet for you. Give me a chance. Now you have this video. The video you saw previously, it is in the WhatsApp group for you to use it anytime you want to check the vocabulary again and again. Important thing. See that? Of course, she speaks too fast, maybe, and you maybe were not able to write down notes. That's why I send it to you, to your WhatsApp group, so you can use it again and again and again as many times as you need. But the vocabulary is important because you won't find this vocabulary in any other part. So please, as soon as you have a chance, repeat the video at home and watch it, taking notes of the vocabulary you consider to be new for you, because maybe you need more words than me, etc. But watch it again, watch it again, watch it again. Try to listen to native speakers using English and try to imitate the accents and things like that, right? The electrical part of the house in this video is important for you in the future. If you really want to use the English, not just for an exam, just for using it in real life. Well, and now what? Now the vocabulary in this unit number 13. There is a lot of vocabulary, but one of the vocabulary that I am interested in consists on exercise page 142. Page 142, let's see that page. Here you see vocabulary. This is the vocabulary I refer to. Space, place, room, area, location, and square. Maybe they are not a problem for you, but I have to think of every student, not you and you who are very smart. I have to think of all my students. So I prepare a very short PowerPoint to use it with you. Give me a chance, a minute. PowerPoint. Where is it? Here. Let's use this PowerPoint to illustrate my words. Here in the desk. Aha. Well, doesn't want to work. Ah, yes. Space, the concept, because the concept is one thing and doing the exercises is a different thing, but maybe it can help you. It's an empty area which is available to be used. In English, friends, we don't use zona, in Spanish. Zona is in English area. And an empty area which is available to be used. And what is a place? An area, town, building, etc. A suitable area, building, situation, or occasion. Ah, now everything is very clear. Yes or no? No. When you read the concept of every word, maybe the things are more difficult. A room, the amount of space that someone or something needs. Remember the expression make room. Remember that when we study collocation with make and do. One of the expressions we studied was make room, which in Spanish is abran paso, denme espacio. That is room. Well, room is habitación also, but not here. Room sometimes is a synonym of space in English. Area, a particular part of a place, piece of land or country. When you say, for example, they don't want boys in this area, it's only for girls, so area is that. Location, slightly formal. Ah, yes. This is an expression that we use normally informal situations. The meaning is place or position. Square, well, you know, an area of approximately square-shaped land in a city or town, often including the buildings that surrounds it. For example, in London, Trafalgar Square is in Spanish una plaza, a square. And that is the vocabulary. But in reality, last year, the students didn't have many problems with this, right? Maybe it would be a good idea to send this to you. I will do it, right? I will do it for you to have it in your WhatsApp group. But it's not so important in reality, because sometimes, I repeat, the concept of a word is more confusing than the word itself. And what are we supposed to do with this vocabulary? Well, I would like you to do exercise number 2, exercise 2, page 142. Let's go to that exercise. Let me show you. Exercise 2, I'm going to make it bigger. Look at the definitions on page 185. The definitions is what I illustrated to you in the PowerPoint. But if you want, you can go to the page 185 and then circle the correct word in italics in these sentences. For example, number 1, we don't have enough area, or we don't have enough space in our garden. Well, what is it, friend? Space. Space. We don't have enough space in our garden to hold the party. Hold, celebrar, to hold the party. So you underline or circle space. Continue with the rest. They are 10 sentences. When you finish, send me a message for me to check your answers. Alex, finished? I know I finished. And Alba finished. Very good. Well, number one, we don't have enough space in our garden to hold a party. But number two, place or room? What is your answer? Well, for Alex is room. For Alba is room. And for Ainhoa, space. Well, space. In number two, the possibility are place or room, Ainhoa. And the answer is room. Very good, Alex. Very good, Alba. I hope I'll have enough room for all the things I'm bringing. Doesn't matter, Ainhoa. It doesn't matter. Well, now let's go to number three. Everybody, number three. Sorry, I'm late. I just couldn't find a parking place or a parking space anywhere. Number three, opinions. Place. Place for Ainhoa, place for Alba, place for Alex. Yes, place. No, it's not place. Parking place. No, parking space. Parking space, friends. To see, try to memorize this. What I need to find is a space in the parking. So parking space. Now, number four, I'm enclosing a map which shows the location or which shows the place of my school. What do you think in the map? Location for Alex, location for Ainhoa, and location, yes, and for Alba too. Excellent, friends. Location 5. It's dangerous to go walking in a mountainous area or mountainous place without the correct equipment. What do you think? What is the logic? Mountainous area or mountainous place? Area for Alex, area for Alba, and for Ainhoa is area. Yes, excellent. The animals in this zoo have a lot of area or have a lot of space to move around. Space for Ainhoa, space for Alex, and for Alba space. Excellent. 7. The concert will take place in the main square or in the main place in front of a cathedral. What do you think it is? Square or place? Square, Alex, square, Alba, and Ainhoa, square. Yes, very good. Now, 8. The area of forest where they are going, or the space of forest where they are going to build a new blah, blah, blah. 8. Area or space? Area, Ainhoa. Area, Alex, and yes, and area, Alba. Excellent. 9. There isn't enough place or there isn't enough space to build more houses in this neighborhood. Place or space? Space for Ainhoa, space for Alex, and Alba, space. Yes, space. 10. It's fine for you to stay at our place as we've got loads of room or loads of place. Room or place? Room for Ainhoa, room for Alex, and for Alba. Excellent, excellent. You passed the exam. Congratulations. Now the second, exercise number 3 is more difficult. Exercise 3, concentrate on that. Exercise 3 says, work in pairs, impossible. Write area, place, room, or space. These are the 4 options. Area, place, room, space, in the gaps to form collocation. For example, hiding place, lugar donde ocultarse, hiding place. Then discuss blah, blah, blah. Well, let's see. I am going to help you with this because this is collocation and Logically, you don't know. In number one, friends, hiding, market, meeting is with place. Place. You can say a hiding place, un escondite. A hiding place in Spanish, escondite. Marketplace, you know, un mercado. And meeting place, punto de reunión. So these are expressions that exist like a block, always together. I repeat, in number one, in the space in blank, place. Hiding place, marketplace, meeting place. Now with number two, floor, green, office, parking, personal, public, space. In number two, in the space in blank, space. Right? Floor space, green space, office space, parking space, personal space, and public space. And then the work is to memorize this. Number three, head, leg, standing, blank, room. So this is for room. Headroom is when you are in a vehicle, a bus, a taxi or something, the space between your head and the roof of the vehicle. You say, I don't have head room. Quiere decir que mi cabeza está topando con el techo. No hay espacio para la cabeza. Headroom, legroom, the same. Principally on planes. Cuando estamos en el avión, las rodillas topando con el respaldar. Eso es que no hay, there is no leg room. Espacio para las piernas. Standing room. No hay espacio para ponerse ni de pie. Okay, good. Now, some people say that standing room lo traducen como sala de estar, un lugar donde se puede estar ahí esperando algo. Eso es un standing room. Now, number four, dining, penalty, picnic, play, reception. The collocation is with area. Dining area, penalty area. The boy Alex, the boys who play football, they know the penalty area, el área de penal, creo que se dice en español. Picnic area, play area, and reception area. So these are collocations with area, not with space, not with place. And you have to be careful with that. Using these concepts, using these collocations in exercise 3, we are going to do exercise 4. Observe exercise 4. Where is it? Exercise 4. Somewhere. Yes, here. Complete these sentences by writing one of the collocations from exercise 3 in the gaps. They are 6 sentences. So when you finish, send me a message. Alex finished. And I know I finished. And also Alba. Very good friends. Perfect. In number 1, teachers get angry when the students leave their cars in their personal parking spaces. So in number 1, parking spaces. Check it out. In number 2, if someone makes you feel uncomfortable by standing too close to you, we say that they have entered your personal space. Look at that. Now, they don't live in Spain. Now, number 3, I love my school. It's surrounded by green space with lots of trees and lawns. 4, I'm tall and the seats on the plane didn't have enough leg room. 5, there are lots of stores in the marketplace selling fresh fruit and vegetables. And 6, when you go to the country, it's good to find a picnic area where you can sit and eat a sandwich. I repeat that in number 1 is parking spaces, in number 2 is personal space, in number 3 is green space, in number 4 is leg room, in number 5 is marketplace, and in number 6 is picnic area. That is the answer. Check it out. Compare with your answers. Collocation is essential. If we don't study collocation, we will be improvising. And now I want you to watch a teacher from Cambridge. It's just 2 or 3 minutes speaking about houses. Look at this. Very interesting. Give me a chance. Well, we have to stop the video here because of the time, and I need to talk to you. You have this video here in the Skype classes, but you can also watch the video in your WhatsApp group. I think it's important that you watch the video because of the vocabulary the teacher is going to teach you. And the grammatical structures that we can use when we speak about our homes is very important. So please dedicate some minutes to watch and write down notes about the vocabulary here in this video. It's extremely important. The homework is in your WhatsApp group. The homework is a reading exercise that you have on page number 141, exercise number, what number? Number 4. Exercise 4, page 141. But don't worry, because you have these notes in your WhatsApp group. Thank you very much for the effort that you've done today. Please, Ainhoa, you, Alba, and you, Alex. Thank you very much, friends. See you next week. Bye-bye.